How's the coffee?
It's delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is this, episode 12?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we are, Jake.
Yeah.
You look a lot different than usual, Mr. Mo.
Yeah.
Mo is not here today. He's not here this week. He's out of town. So I figured we would chit-chat with my good pal Jake here, who has been working with us since a little bit before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because you were at the Christmas party.
Yeah. I think it was like right before Christmas.
Yeah. So that's like 2 months now?
Yeah. Something about 2 months.
2 months-ish?
Yeah. Whenever the video quality started going up.
Right. When we started posting videos regularly is when Jake started working with us.
Yep. That's me.
Doing videos. Yeah, you had done some temp work for us, like every once in a while.
Yeah, the 4 trucks full of cans in a row during the pandemic.
Unloading gas cans, fulfilling orders,
Yeah.
stacks upon stacks upon stacks of orders.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was 4 days in a row. It's like 100 degrees in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice and spicy in there.
Yeah. Even with like a hose running water over the top of the truck, it's
miserable. But
shipping containers are hot. What can you do?
Yeah, it's about all you can do.
Yeah.
But,
well, then so how did it happen? Then you were like, "Hey, do you have any work? Because you're free. Because you have a varied lifestyle, right?
Very, very interesting track of employment. I've been like touring with bands and doing stuff like that, like for like all last year. I was gone 4 or 5 months, just not at home, and hung around for about 2 months, and then I was like, I should find a job. Yeah. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna message Miles. Maybe he's got containers to unload. But lo and behold, I don't have containers to unload, but you want to do some video work? And I was like, even better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had literally just posted a job listing for a videographer.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know you. Like, I've seen a lot of your pictures and videos and stuff that you put online. I've
dabbled for sure.
Bands and stuff. I'm like, well, I like Jake. He's got an interest in this stuff already.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. You know.
I think it's been working out so far.
Yeah. People are getting used to my goofy mug and their Instagram feed.
Yeah, I think my face made a first appearance today. So
yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, you were in the goggles little.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Little rave video we did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little dance party Friday,
Yeah. We got a nice comment on that one.
Hopefully more of those comments. Bring them in.
Yeah, more the merrier. That's fun. Yeah. If you leave any particularly mean comments, I'll be sure to share them to our story.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to do with those?
I think that's going to invite so many more people to just leave as mean of comments as possible.
Yeah, maybe not too mean. Don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Please.
Pretty please.
So you are going to be going on tour again this year, so we're going to miss you for a month.
Yeah. I got a pretty sweet gig that I can't exactly say with who yet, because there's nerds out there that'll...
Right, don't want to spill the beans too soon.
Yeah.
But, well, it's very cool. And if you're like a metal nerd, you'd be jealous of what Jake's been getting up to.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I've definitely... It's nice to have a job to allow me to go and then come back. That's the best part about it. It's like, because I can work really hard for a month, make a lot of money, and then come back, and then continue to make money at all, which is the problem. Is going out, getting a lot of money for a short amount of time, and then immediately hopping into something you don't like. You don't want to do that. So yeah, been at least steady income when I'm home. So
flexibility is good.
I can pick and choose. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if we go back to crappy cell phone videos for a month.
Yeah.
That'll mean that Jake is on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to bank as much stuff as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a nice backlog going.
Yeah.
How's the band?
Pretty good. Definitely, I got an email today about some exciting news. So, literally, as of this morning,
Sweet.
might be getting some stuff pressed onto fancy plastic discs that are nice and 12 inches big and
Wonder what that could mean.
colorful. And yeah, it's sick. I'm very excited about it. I
Yeah.
think the order is being put in soon. So,
Let me know when I can pre-order one.
oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I will be the first customer for sure.
That's all I will post until
Everyone will hear about it.
Yeah, everyone will hear about it. I have to make sure that I don't go massively in debt. So
Right. Yeah. We gotta make sure we sell some of those.
yeah.
Right on.
So yeah, about to put out a new album. Hopefully, doing some stuff after that. So tours and shows and stuff.
His band is called Aberrants with two. Is it 2 R's or 2 B's?
2 R's.
2 R's.
Yeah.
Aberrants.
I spelled it wrong for the first 6 months.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I can never remember if it's B's or R's.
ABE.
Abe.
RRANCE.
I just have to remember like Aber Rants.
Yeah.
Or something.
We confuse people because we call ourselves Abbey Pants because
Right.
I don't know.
And Abby would make you think 2 B's.
Yeah. Flabberance was another one. Our good friend Brian gave us, and I think that's the best. Yeah, that's the best one. Like honestly. Yeah, I don't think anybody's beat that. Been around for 15 years. Nobody's beat that. And that was like year 2 or 3 he came up with that one. So
I like that we used to joke that you guys were the heaviest metal band in Chico.
Still are, dog.
Physically and metaphorically speaking.
Physically and metaphorically speaking. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Never gonna change that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember we played a gig called The Heaviest in Chico. It was like a series.
Yes.
That was like every year for a little while, right?
Yeah, the Chico State used to put it on.
Yeah. That was a really fun one.
Yeah.
But that was talking about, not the physical heft of the players.
Yeah.
But it happened to line up that way anyway, so, pretty cool.
We have a joke, because we've been around for so long. We got Ed in 2012, and he used to be the skinniest person in the band. We used to roast him. And then Ed chunked up. I lost a little bit of weight for a bit, chunked back up. Now Dave is getting skinny, and our whole joke is
the skinny one. There's always one, right?
Yeah, we're joking around that we passing the sex appeal,
taking turns.
You're can't.
That's so funny.
Can't all be this sexy all the time,
Yeah. Well, Dave's getting married, so he can't be sexy for too long.
Yeah, we're all falling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all getting tied down. So
yeah, that's cool. Well, I've got a collection of random stuff here that I, like to talk about, right? So, I've had many passions in life, one of which is metal music, and I used to play in a lot of bands that you remember. But another one that I love to do is graphic design. So I got a couple of random examples of stuff here. I'm sort of a sticker nerd.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of Swiss Link stickers.
Yeah.
This is a little character that was created by a bunch of different product photos put together.
So he's got some Flecktarn.
He's got a Flecktarn jacket, Swiss axe, a Swiss salt and pepper backpack, which really rare these days. We don't actually have any of those at the moment. Wish we did. And also a flight helmet from a guy that I knew. It was his actual personal Air Force flight helmet.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. He actually had the whole, he brought in the helmet and
whole flight suit and
the
everything?
compression suit and everything.
Jeez.
Sold it all on eBay. Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool though.
That's sick. I'm curious about these because as soon as you told me that, I don't know, a week or two ago, I forget when you were like, oh yeah, we got Supreme gas cans. I was
Wait,
like,
what?
Of course. Of course. It always blows my mind how big Swiss Link is, because it used to be, when we all lived up in Paradise, there's 2 military surplus stores in town. There's just their other option, and then here we are, it's
Right.
doing collabs with Supreme.
Yeah. Well, the surplus store, has always been, surplus is like the bread and butter of Swiss Link, obviously.
Yeah.
Where it started and everything. And there was always a little store there, just like as a sort of a fun way to get rid of the odds and ends,
Yeah.
like, we buy in large containers full of surplus, and sometimes you'll just get one or two of something, and it's
Small amounts. Yeah.
really hard to deal with that stuff. The best way is if you just have a store and you can put it up and people check it out and buy it and whatever.
Yeah.
Putting a product listing online takes a lot of time and effort. You got to get really good photos. Videos are helpful. You got to write up a description, put it through the system. If it's like one sleeping bag that you're going to sell for $10,
Yeah.
it would cost more to do all of that than you'd ever make on the sleeping bag.
More than an hour of time.
Right.
Putting it up on the website for
Yeah.
Cancel out the money you would have made. Yeah.
So that's what the store is perfect for. And now what we do is we take all those things and we put them in a big box and sell it to somebody who does have a store.
Yeah.
Who's willing to go through it and
Yeah.
put them up. But there's always, that little surplus store in Paradise is just the tip of the iceberg, and a lot of people didn't really realize that.
I had no idea.
We do a lot more.
I've known you since we were in elementary school, right? Like 4th, 5th grade or something. And I had no idea that's what you guys were doing there.
A lot more going on. Of course, back then, the fuel cans were not a part of the business, but now they've really taken off, and they're huge. Wavian is like our biggest product line, probably, if I had to point to one. The Supreme collaboration just happened just completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What happened was, Supreme uses third-party companies to help source and find products. And I think the way that it works is these companies will propose ideas to them and then, hopefully make it work. And so we weren't approached by Supreme themselves, but by another company that would pitch items to Supreme, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. And apparently it went all the way through. I think there was 5,000 of them or something.
Yeah.
It was quite a large order of gas cans. They just did these little guys, the 5 liters, which I suppose makes sense. I don't know that anybody buying a Supreme gas can is actually using it to fill up their motorcycle.
No.
It's probably just on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
Being dusted occasionally.
Yes. Yeah.
So the 5 liters is perfect, and they look so good with the stamp on them and everything.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of their random stuff. Like they did a brick, and then they did I know they did what's the fire extinguisher.
I know they've done toothpaste.
Yeah.
Where they replace Colgate with Supreme, but in the Colgate font.
Literally cool. Just because they know people will buy it, and that's the whole gag. Because they're a skateboard company. There was some story about they wouldn't sell a pair of shoes if somebody couldn't do a kickflip. They're just we don't care. We're gonna sell it, so
right.
Yeah, you might as well have to have a kickflip or be able to do a kickflip. It's like a skateboard company. Yeah. They know they could just sell absolutely anything that they
put their
stamp their name on.
Well, you don't have to be able to do a kickflip to buy one of these. You just have to be able to pay a stupid amount of money on eBay or something.
Yeah.
Somebody is willing to get rid of them.
Exactly.
Collector's item now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Collector's items.
Oh yeah.
I think they did the candles too, the Catholic prayer candles.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I love those candles.
Yeah.
I mean, not to make fun of a cultural item, but you go in through the dollar store and then you come across that section.
Yeah.
They're fun to look at. They're pretty funny.
I've seen they replace a little sacrilegious, but they'll replace Jesus's head with Lemmy from Motorhead and rock and roll icons and all that stuff. But they'll do that. I think Amoeba in Berkeley has a whole section of them. There's 20, 30 different ones. But
Amoeba is legendary.
Yeah.
Record store.
Yeah.
I wonder, at one point, the only record stores left will be those types, the few legendary ones that people go as a cultural pit stop or, take a picture there.
Yeah, Amoeba in LA, they already moved. They closed down the original location and moved somewhere else. And it's a nicer building, but there's it's a couple of those places have closed. I think Rasputin's in San Francisco's. I think they closed, but I think Amoeba is still there. But Amoeba in San Francisco is better than the one in Berkeley. Blah blah blah. The Rasputin's in Berkeley is the one. Like it's big, huge.
I bought a copy of The Wall at the one in Berkeley.
Yeah.
And I got home and put it on my record player and it was warped.
Oh.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drive back and complain about this $10 vinyl that I got. It was a used one. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was not like a new pressing or whatever.
Yeah, I've spent a dirty amount of money at Amoeba. So
yeah,
$600-700 like total in like a year. Going there a few times, but yeah, you can get lost.
Easy to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, vinyls are making a comeback, but I don't think record stores are going to make a comeback. People buy vinyls from their favorite band as a way to support them or whatever, or just have a collector's item.
The margins are so low because of all of like the record labels and stuff. Like a record store makes $5 on that. Like the baseline, you have to sell it for, like $35, like in order to make any sort of profit on it. It's very hard business to sustain. That's why it's the buying used stuff and recycling all of it. That's what people make money on. That's like how Melody here in town.
Yeah, I was going to say Melody Records is still...
Yeah, they're still going strong.
But they have that second part in the back where they sell all kinds of other stuff too.
Like, oh yeah.
I used to go buy hacky sacks there.
Yeah, the incense. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They got the hippie stuff.
It's the head shop / all their other. I guess it's not really even a head shop.
I wouldn't call it.
I wouldn't call it a head shop at all. Yeah.
But they got a lot of cool stuff there, and it's cool that it's fun to just go browse at a record store like as an activity.
Oh yeah, I do it every city I go to. I'm like, is there a record store nearby? Yes, cool. I'm walking there.
Yeah,
and somehow have to smuggle records, for a month across states, and not damage them.
Right. If the vinyl can survive a whole tour, that's pretty good.
I did that for 2 months across Europe.
Did you buy some vinyls out there?
Yeah. I got them. They're there's some cool stuff that I got out there that bands that don't come back like to the States. I think I've only been like to the States once. So,
how was that experience driving a band around Europe for a month?
I flew in to the UK. We flew into Heathrow. Immediately picked up a van. I didn't drive for the first day in London because that's terrifying. I didn't know how to drive manual, so I had to learn on the right side of the vehicle.
Shifting with your left hand.
Shifting with my left hand.
At least you didn't have to relearn.
Yeah. So I
learn it backwards from the get-go.
I had a few lessons. I wasn't totally in complete, have no idea how to do it, but learn how to drive, actually functionally how to drive in manual, in Scotland, pretty much. Yeah, and it was fun. It was a trial by fire. I got it done. But
I had a very similar experience in Ireland. I went with my mom and we drove around Ireland.
Yeah.
And I knew how to drive a stick, but I didn't have any actual practical experience. I learned enough to I learned how to do it.
Yeah.
But never had a manual transmission car, so it wasn't second nature to me at all.
Yeah.
And then trying to get used to that while also getting used to driving on the other side of the road and being in the other side of the car. It was so weird.
The roundabouts too,
make sure you don't go the wrong way.
The best part is we started in the UK and then did about a week there and then went to mainland Europe where most of the roads are the normal US.
Did you get a different vehicle for that? No?
No.
So you drove
I drove on the right-hand side on left-hand roads for it was most of the time.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was a learning experience. I had to have a co-pilot tell me if I could pass vehicles in the middle of Spain, when it's one-way road or it's 2-lane, and then I would It was a
Yeah,
nightmare.
because you're so far from the center of the road.
Yep.
Interesting.
I got to drive on the Autobahn with a speed cap of, I think it was like 117 kilometers an hour, which was,
It's like
it's like
60.
I think it, yeah. No, it was 123 kilometers an hour. I think it topped out at 73,
I
like
think
73 miles per hour.
100 is 60. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
that's not fast.
metric is so much easier. I was like, oh, this town is 400 kilometers away. How long is it going to take me to get there? 4 hours.
Right, pretty clear.
It's pretty easy.
Which, by the way, in Europe, that's like a million miles away.
Oh yeah,
A 4-hour drive is like, oh my god.
I ran into.
Whereas here, it's like, oh, that's how you have to. That's how long it takes to get anywhere.
We were in the Netherlands, and there was a guy coming up to the band that I was with, and they were like, "Yeah, like we saw you guys are coming like near us. We're in Milton Keynes. We couldn't make it to the London show. Like it's 45 minutes. Like it's like a 45-minute drive.
Like way too far.
Yeah, and they made a vacation out of going to the Netherlands and like seeing them at like a big old festival with a bunch of other bands. They're like, yeah, we'll be 45 minutes away in London. Like I get that it's London, but like 45 minutes. Like that's why I drive half an hour to get groceries living up in paradise. Like
there was a really great video on Instagram Reels that I saw recently where it was like somebody had made some sort of a post saying like, oh, all these stupid Americans always think that like, oh, is that close to London? And then it was like a British guy that was like, let me actually defend Americans here for a second.
Yeah.
Because if you are like a 2-hour drive away from London, according to Americans, that is close to London. That is like, we're an hour and a half away from Sacramento. I always just tell people we're just outside of Sacramento.
Yeah.
So, but like for people in England, 2 hours away from London is nowhere near London.
This is a couple accents away.
Yeah, like it's like nowhere near. So from our perspective, yeah, you're right next. Hop, skip, and jump away from London.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of perspective,
That's what blew my mind. It was like you would drive 45 minutes, be completely different accent, and then like once you go into mainland Europe, it's like they're speaking different languages. Like if you drive like any amount, like it just blew my mind. Like the American mind can't comprehend.
I mean, we can get in a car from here and drive for 12 hours and still be in California. Like, to get down to San Diego or something.
Yeah.
Or like Texas. You can drive all day, still be in Texas.
Yeah.
Whereas that same distance in Europe would get you across 3 countries.
Oh yeah. Like I think California is the size of the main island of the United Kingdom. Like it's like 8 hours from like the very bottom to the top, like of like Scotland. Like it is
right, the whole length. Yeah, same with like Germany. It's like roughly the size of Germany.
Yeah, tall or whatever.
Yeah, if you like overlay them.
And
it's interesting.
Even the people on the East Coast are like, "Oh yeah, you live in California. I'm gonna go to Los Angeles." Yeah, that's a 9-hour drive for me. Like,
yeah, did you know that's like from New York to Florida?
Yeah,
like,
don't ask me to drive 9 hours. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's funny. My dad used to always like whenever he would see an RV on the road, he would be like, "Oh, those are Germans." Like the rental RVs. It's like it's a really common like German holiday to like just come here, rent an RV, and drive across America or whatever.
Yes,
just to get that experience of like big open roads in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's parts of America where you drive all day and you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You better make sure you have enough gas,
Yeah, absolutely. The last tour I did with Psychroptic from Australia, drove them across the United States. A couple of their guys are from the States, but we rented an RV and in one of the stops that we made at the RV dealership to just figure some stuff out, some like check engine light stuff. There was a German couple renting an RV, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to bother doing a German accent, but yeah, they were like, was the shower supposed to work? Like, it was like, no, you have to have like a hookup for it."
RV questions, yeah,
just general RV questions, but yeah, you're right, exactly right with the renting the
Right.
RV. Yeah,
I think if anybody knows anything about open land, it would be Australians.
yeah.
They got wide open nothingness.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the population distribution in Australia, it's like
They fly.
everything here or over here, and like the rest of it is just the outback.
Yeah.
You know.
They fly in between dates. They don't even bother, literally, because it's like 16-hour drives, and they rent everything. They'll have 6 shows, and they'll just be pew, 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 do a quick little flight every day after the show. They'll fly to the next place. Usually they'll have a day off or two. But yeah.
Wow. Meant like flying with drum kits and stuff?
No, they'll rent drum kits like
I see.
every night. They'll bring like a few like the drummer from Psychroptic there. He has like
bring his favorite cymbals or something.
Yeah, he'll bring his cymbals and his kick pedals, because he has a certain like kick drum module, music nerd stuff. He has a module that, like, the trigger, like when you hit it, like it doesn't matter what it's attached to, it's the actual physical foot hitting the bottom of the kick pedal. That's what triggers it, as opposed to the beater on the head.
Oh, interesting.
So it doesn't matter what it's attached to. It could be the worst, awful drum in the world.
But he's using triggers and.
But he's using triggers, and he's getting a digital sound from the.
Interesting.
The tapping of the actual.
The pedal to the floor of the thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's some super nerd stuff, but like the way they have it is like it's perfect. And he's like, yeah, I'm always tour with these, because he has a drum kit somewhere, but he never gets to play it outside of. They specifically live in Hobart, Australia, which is on like Tasmania, like the island off of Australia. I think most of them live in Melbourne now, but yeah, it's wild. They're touring, modern touring. You can do it out of a backpack.
Yeah, I suppose so, as long as all the venues that you go to are like equipped well enough.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to have loud PA, but yeah, it's a time to be alive.
Yeah. It's amazing how much, like, live performance and like just the audio engineering world has changed so much. Even just like from 10-15 years ago, it was a completely different world. Like, to be able to record an album yourself 15 years ago, I mean, was a hell of a lot easier than 15 years before that. But it was definitely doable. But like, you needed some good equipment, you needed some like serious computing power, you needed a lot of experience. Whereas like now, with a couple of YouTube videos, like pretty much anybody could figure out how to produce an album from their house. I
literally did our album that we're putting out. I think I spent $80 on a DI, which was used. It was a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was used, so I got it for $80. I got an interface. I got a microphone that I didn't end up using, and then I bought some plugins. And I think total cost me $400 to record and engineer myself. It took a lot of time, but that's trying to get everything right, and making sure that I'm doing it correctly. But it was absolutely cheap. Even in the last 4 years, like since the pandemic, all of those producers and everybody, like they all had, like, they're like, what do we do? I guess let's turn into software engineers and figure out how to make plugins that sound better. And in that last 4 years, just leaps and bounds better. Like when we last album we put out was 7 years ago, which sucks and I hate it. But we have worked on it like on and off, like we were going to put out something a long time ago, because we had a lot of these songs already.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't end up working. But when we originally started demoing out those songs, the plugins that I used, like they sounded like all right, like they were passable, but like it was just so I could hear back what I did. And then now, since like the guy that I that I sent the album to mix to, he used some of my like plug-in like direct in guitars. And he's like, "Yeah, these sound great." And I was like,
So they're actually good enough. Yeah.
"Yeah." And this guy like actually makes albums for a living.
And he didn't even need to like reamp it or anything.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think that camera went off.
That's okay.
Hold on, it did.
Maybe that's a sign.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign. Yeah, that where were we?
Technology, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, the guy used our album, like the guitar tracks off our album, that I just recorded in my bedroom, and he was like, "Yeah, this is super good. Sounds great." So yeah, cheap. You can do a lot cheaper than you can do a lot of things these days. They used to be a lot more expensive. Even the same guy that we went to 7 years ago, he said he can do stuff for cheaper because he has all the technology to help him. So, you know, even reamping some super nerd stuff, even reamping where they play your signal through an amp so that they can mic it.
Right.
They don't have to listen to it anymore. They don't have to physically wait for the 4 minutes for the song to be over. They can just, and then that whole,
like digitally reamping something.
Yeah, they're
interesting.
Yeah, it's like with plugins and amp modelers, like the last 4 years, just insane amount of
Yeah, buddy of mine was showing me like some of the amp plugins that he had bought. I think it might have been some like Meshuggah ones or something. But you could like move the mic around in the front of the cabinet to get like the different, you know what I mean? So if you're used to miking an amp, you can just do that digitally. You know, I went a little closer, a little further away, whatever.
Yep, at an angle.
Like, it's like pretty legit. Like it's a pretty good proxy for the real thing.
Yeah, impulse responses.
It's
this is what those are called.
Amazing, like how much more technology can enable people to just be more productive.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of people are concerned about, you know, AI coming in and getting rid of people's jobs, or like copywriters, for example. Like who needs copywriters anymore? It's like, well, no, we still need copywriters.
Yeah.
And they should use AI to make themselves more prolific. You know what I mean? Like you can get more work done. You still have to get in there and edit it and make sure it works correctly, and you know, but like it doesn't just produce stuff out of thin air. It just makes people more capable of producing more work and doing more in a short amount of time. And I think that's a good thing that we should embrace, you know.
I've heard both sides of the argument, it being like more of like a composition tool to give you the ideas of something you didn't necessarily think about. And I understand that argument, but it's the people that try and just pass off like what is.
Yeah.
Just I typed in this, give me money. Like that's
there's going to be a lot of
there's already so
worthless filth online.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Did you see the I forget the name of it's another one of those AI things, but it's a video prompt now. Like
what do they call it? Cora, I think, is the new ChatGPT, the new OpenAI model for video productions.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, if you look at it really carefully and you know what to look for, you're like, okay, this is AI made. But if you just look at it, like you just glance on it and you're scrolling through your reels or something, it would totally pass as a real video.
I stare at videos all day, every day now for work. And even it's getting close. Like there's obvious signs and stuff, like, you know, things that are like too big to exist, like, you know, people in the foreground that are like, you know, look like they're 9 feet tall and like they're walking through objects. Like you can tell with that kind of stuff. But
there was a video, I think, and I think OpenAI was even presenting like, hey, here's some examples of some of the things that doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
It was like puppies playing with each other.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of like appearing and disappearing behind each other.
Yeah.
But if you're just flipping through reels and you see a video,
you don't know,
of a politician doing something weird, maybe.
Yeah.
You're like, you would just, I mean, unless you're looking at it critically, it could really pass.
Well, even with like the audio stuff, like they've been doing that for a bit. You can just, I'm gonna make so and so politician say something stupid like that, and some people just don't understand that, like that's totally fake. Like you can put it together. Like if you could give it a script to like do a rap song, like obviously like Joe Biden's not gonna be like spitting bars, but like
Right.
yeah, and
This probably didn't actually happen.
probably didn't actually happen. But like there's such, it's going to get to the point where it's like you can type in a prompt and it's going to be, I know that um they're supposed to have safeguards against it being used for
Sure.
politicians or
somebody's going to have
celebrities in general,
some jailbroken model of it, running
yeah.
on their own
Yeah.
hardware, and
yeah, it's going to get done and used for nefarious activities. But
as a people, we need to just practice our critical thinking and put up a few more walls and just be a little bit more careful about what we believe and what we see. But
absolutely,
I think for the most part it's exciting. Like I think it's cool.
Yeah.
If I would be most concerned if I was making my living off of stock photography, stock video footage,
Yeah.
like B-roll stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because as it is now today, it's good enough for B-roll. It's good enough for stock photos. Like,
oh yeah,
if you're putting together a PowerPoint presentation and you need like a shot of some forest or something,
yeah,
of course you're gonna use the AI stuff that costs you just a small subscription fee instead of paying for every single stock photo.
yeah.
Sorry, stock photographers. I think
It's
transition a little bit. Become a stock photo prompter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it is definitely a bar in which, like, before it used to be I bought all of the expensive stuff and you're paying me because I bought all the expensive stuff, and like
And put in the hours of work to become good at it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and that's definitely, the bar is going to be a lot lower, and it's there'll always be people with like a discerning eye for handmade art, and it's still definitely nowhere near, like you can still tell that like the one I saw was puppies doing a podcast on a mountain or something, and like it looked really good.
Really?
Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that it can do, is like have a dog panting on top. Most of it, I'm sure, is
something that you
sourced.
probably couldn't go out and take a photo of in real life.
Yeah, I'm sure most of it's sourced from B-roll, like that exists on the internet, like already.
Yeah.
But it's wild. We live in a society.
Yep, for sure. That's always changing. They say every company is a tech company now because everybody relies on their tech stack and what kind of stuff they can produce. And it's a digital world, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Unless you just have a brick and mortar storefront and you're just doing stuff the old school way. But
yeah,
think about it, like how limiting is that reach now?
Yeah. Paying $5,000 a month or whatever for a billboard, when you could pay $5,000 a month and get on every single person in Butte County's phone, like every time they're scrolling through whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I think we should probably wrap it up here.
It's a little long. Yeah.
Thanks for filling in, hanging out, chit chatting.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to get the rest of your band guys out here one time and just kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next time Mo's out of town,
Yeah, Nick is definitely the one that needs to be on here. He's the weaponry expert, so
yeah,
he'll love axes. And
show him
knives.
some of the cool stuff. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, the German combat knife, I got him for his birthday, and he was like, "Yes, the carabiner has a knife on it." Like, yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, that thing is pretty sweet.
It is pretty radical.
Yeah. All right. Well, peace out.